welcome back to The Good, The Scaz and The Rugby. We're in the Bristol Beer Factory tap room.
Right on cue.
Cheers. Is this communion?
Yeah, I think so. It's the end of the quarterfinals. We've 8 down to 4.
Shululu. This feels more like a funeral in my heart, but maybe that's just because South Africa is on a plane right now. I was in Exeter all weekend. The irreverent Nicholas Heath
Yes, Bristol was my
here
home.
in Bristol, which is what they call West Country around here.
Yes, the West Country. You were a little further down in Devon, but Bristol was in good form. All the wind and the rain blew in. Storm Amy's remnants or whatever it was. I heard Amy Cockayne was quite enjoying the fact that there was a Storm Amy brewing into town because she likes probably to be a bit of a Storm Amy herself.
Is it an Amy with a Y or a double E?
Just a Y. Let's keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Have you placed your order for any of the things on the Good, the Scaz and the Rugby's merchandise store? If you have not gone to order your favorite new Kitty Cat socks, then you can do so. The link is in our bio.
Excellent. I will be getting myself a pair of those for sure.
How good is it that Frank is on a pair of socks?
Oh, is that actually the inspiration?
That's actually him. That's like a picture of him.
I'm 46. That's too close to my eyes for me to be able to read
Scaz's
it.
favourite, is that you? Or are you more of a Mrs. Frankfurter?
That's cute. There's a lot of hot dogs in hot dog moments. Make Scaz a Dame sliders all day long.
Every single day of the week. And the Blue Tit Bucket, another personal favourite. Do you know who hasn't been able to make a T-shirt range themselves?
Oh, who?
The Women Box.
What?
So you were outraged at the fact that England rugby fans could not buy a Red Roses shirt in a men's size, and also that even the sizes that were available were not available in as many numbers as we would have hoped.
I can see where you're going here.
You can't buy a Women Box shirt.
They don't exist?
It does not exist. Not one.
Right. That's awful. There's no Women Box merch, nothing.
Nothing. Unless you are one of the players and you have been issued it as kit. Sia Kolisi himself had to wear one of the girls' shirts last year when he wanted to be their supporter, and it was pulling up and it was like a crop top.
I'm here for that.
That was WXV.
Yeah.
So hi. Take my money. Somebody, please.
I mean, you guys can make merch.
Yeah.
But Saru can't manage a Women Box T-shirt supporters.
We can give you make Scaz a Dame, so I might have to add an Acesa Hele or a Babalwa Lacha T-shirt to the range. If anyone has any good ideas, you know where to find us.
We've got merchandise heavy up front, haven't we?
Yeah, well, I mean, I am also wearing my pickle shirt, which if you watch the Christine Belial episode, CB, this is an Easter egg that is meant to be a sign of support for CB.
I'm embracing autumn by bringing out my new mushroom bit of knitwear.
He calls that colour mushroom. This is the gayest thing you have ever said. You called your brown jumper mushroom. But yes, there it is. On the topic of mushrooms and places that is cold, is this what you would call dreig?
The old Scots would say it was a dreich day in Bristol.
Yes.
As they finished the wrong side of the scoreboard. By the way, 32 points, England win prediction. On the nose again. The smugness is real.
Okay, so Nick's picks coming to you at the end of this episode, but we're just being a little smug up front about the fact that he predicted it.
Yep.
He said so, and it happened.
It was. Yeah.
What is it? What else is it that you commanded and that delivered this weekend?
I'm not sure. I mean, the French were dreadful. The Irish were brilliant. The South Africans were just every rugby romantic's dream for 40 minutes. If their mission was to just sign off with everybody cheering and hollering about how great they are, Swayze de Brain, the performance from the players, and Guevu, Hele, everyone, that was great fun. This is my kind of quick summary. And then the Canadians, all court game, absolutely brilliant. There we go. Should we wrap the show up there?
Okay, well, we're done here. We're going to go home now. Thank you very much. All 25,295 people at Ashton Gate Stadium today made a ton of noise. One of them was Ilona.
Yes, there were also a couple of Red Roses on the drums, making an awful lot of noise themselves. I think it started with Marley Packer at one stage, then it became Ellie Kildun and Lily Ives Campion. They got shown on screen, then they were beating the drum. I was just in the mix zone with England and bumped into Sarah Byrne, who said she's going to put her fist through those drums because she found it too much and it was too distracting. And I think they were enjoying the let's get the beat faster, and everyone was clapping along, but they had no big finish. So I think they either need a drumming coach in this week or it's time to move on from the drumming.
Let's get them some drum songs, some inspo. It's time for the High Flyer of the Week segment, brought to you by our good friends at British Airways, where we pick the Player of the Week from the Red Roses. Our nominees, the ones that we have already put out on the socials, include Kelsey Clifford.
Yep.
2 tries. Do you know that she scored 5 tries in 3 weeks so far?
Yeah, that's pretty damn good, isn't it? For Wesley, that's her nickname.
I feel like the Loosehead Prop Society of the rugby world is going to hear about this and go, girl, what are you doing?
Yeah, she's turning up where she needs to. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Number 1, not 11, remember? She was absolutely sensational. Our second nominee this week scored one of the 2 backline tries of the day. She knitted me the scrunchie, which I am wearing right now.
Beautiful.
We know her as Abby Wow. The government knows her as Abby Dow.
Yes, she was great. She was also involved in that charge down, which nearly led to another opportunity. So yeah, Abby was great. It was actually was it Kelsey Clifford who then arrived for the clear out of nowhere?
Yeah.
I mean, this is ridiculous. She had a great game.
And it was Abby's 50th. And
50th England try, yeah.
Yeah, and as we discussed with her during the week, her try celebration was to let other people hug her.
Yes.
Very nice, very nice.
There's the neurospicy response you want from our scientist, Abby Down.
And then, obviously, we couldn't leave out the player of the match in our shortlist this week, and her name is Morwenna Tulling.
Yes, Mars, as she's known around camp. A great performance. John Mitchell spoke about Morwenna in the post-match, said she's 22, she does everything right. We really love Morwenna, and I think in the whole time I've been in this environment, I've heard her say 3 sentences.
She does her talking on the pitch.
She does indeed.
Which is a dream. So you guys had your say on the socials and went for Kelsey Clifford.
Oh, well, that's the right shout. You know, she was involved in scoring. There was a moment, actually, the try that she scored, we all were looking at each other going, oh, Maud Muir, you just can't stop her. She just bounces her way through. And then replay, oh, that was Kelsey. And there are elements to those front rows, whether it's Hannah Bottomman, whether it's Maud Muir, whether it's Mackenzie Carson, that they are sort of carbon copies of each other, and case in point that we all thought it was Maudie bouncing through, but yeah, Kelsey Clifford absolutely on it and fully deserving.
Big day. Thank you so much for your insight, Nick. British Airways will take care of you on a lifetime of journeys. Book your next flight at britishairways.com. We are sad we have had to bid farewell to the Scots. So many sad, tiny little bagpipes playing in the background. Your imagination is just going to have to do the heavy lifting because I can't play a bagpipe to save my life. Considering what they've been through, the thing that felt really tragic about today wasn't the fact that they lost or the scoreline that they lost by, but the faces and the conversations that we have had on this show. Yep. But also that we had in the post-match interviews today. Yeah. And even Rona Lloyd when she scored that try.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was something more up when Rona scored that try and was so emotional. There were a few whispers in the post-match press room about, is there more to that? Is it just that it's the emotional pressure, it's a consolation score late on in the game? All the sort of relief maybe coming out at that point of they really wanted to put a better of account of themselves out there. Brian Easton said post-match he really felt they could put pressure on an upset today, and they were nowhere near it. But we were wondering, well, is this a Rona Lloyd that's maybe playing a last game for Scotland or something? Is there something we're not aware of? Is this contract situation going to spill over to players actually revealing that they're going to take a stand? We don't believe that is the case, certainly where Rona's concerned, at least immediately. But I had the opportunity to talk to Rachel Malcolm in the press conference and say, is there a risk, bearing in mind where everything has been, that players may choose to step away or very deliberately, stop and decide what they need to do to make a point? And she said, yes, there is that risk. And actually, we have seen it borne out in Jade Conkle retiring. So she announced her retirement yesterday, an hour after we'd left the Scottish press conference, maybe because she didn't want us to ask all the searching questions, because actually what we've heard from her now post-match is that she is choosing to retire on her own terms because she's not a contracted player. She therefore has no faith that whatever's going to happen from here is going to give her that opportunity. And that's true of a lot of players that choose to retire and say, as I'm beginning to move down the pecking order or other people come through, you can still make that choice. But from her, she says after 13 years of service, it was a 6-minute call that basically said, well, you're not going to be contracted, so here's the deal. This is what's coming up behind. These are our reasons for it. She believes reasons otherwise. She was Quinn's Player of the Year last year, and yeah, she's definitely coming out with a few things to say, and I think that's fair enough.
I think it's so significant that Donna Kennedy went up to her, and you could see that on the TV feed, and gave her a hug before the match was even over. I feel like the icons of the women's game in Scotland are standing up and showing allegiance with the players.
Yeah, and the old thistles, as they're known, they're having these conversations with them and trying to give them the guidance they need. You know, there've been conversations behind the scenes about whether this Scotland team needs to put a firm foot down about even playing a game. You know, this is where things have got to with these contract situations. So, yeah, some of these older senior voices, players like Donna Kennedy, most cap player of all time for Scotland, are giving the right advice, and certainly Rachel Malcolm has been involved in having some of these conversations. They are gutted about that result, but I think there are a few more twists and turns of where this story is going with Scotland.
So Scotland, unfortunately, leaving the dance floor, and Brian Eason leaving the coaching staff altogether. He looked so emotional and really just quite overwhelmed in his post-match interview. What was your take?
Yeah, he's definitely a very proud man, I think.
Yeah.
His relationship with Rachel Malcolm seems to be the key. They've worked together for 7 years now. They have each other's backs. I think they have navigated through thick and thin, probably a bit more thin than it's been thick for Scotland. And look, he's a decent guy. I think, as with a lot of elite setups, there are probably 15 to 20 Scottish players that are champions of Brian Eason's, and there's probably another 15 that are not within that tent who think it's all been a bit of a closed shop for a while. So that's the nature of elite sport sometimes, and it'll be interesting to see how the evolution of Scotland goes, contracts or not. They do feel that this is the way they are building, and this is how it needs to continue. His concern is that the union are not going to be doing that by reducing to 15 full-time contracts. I think he's probably got a point. I mean, how can you continue a programme with the level of support for these players for them to bounce on? Having reached a quarter-final, they wanted to obviously put more pressure towards a semi-final. The Red Roses were too good today in the conditions.
Yeah. Rachel Malcolm was asked what message she has for the SRU, and she said, just to listen. We know this game better than anyone. We are a part of this. We all want the same thing. We want to boost Scottish rugby. We want to be part of Scottish rugby. With the player voice incorporated in that, we can definitely move this sport forward. So she is still preaching unity. She is still saying, take us on this journey with you. Listen to us. Give us a chair at the table.
And it was unity that she spoke of when someone said, you know, what have you learned over leadership in this 7-year period alongside Brian? And she said unity and empathy, understanding and listening to people. But ultimately, you can be a much bigger force if you're all united.
You saw the Mosif.
I did.
Natasha Hunt.
I did.
After the game.
It's quite funny because obviously I know Mo very well, and but I was doing an interview for radio, so, you know, protocols, let's get the name formalised first before we go. But she also recognised that straight away, so I was like, hey Mo, how you doing? We had a quick hug, and then I was like, right, interview time. She was like, yeah, let's go. I was like, Natasha Hunt. And she straight away just went, huh? Like straight into mode, so that was great. And yeah, she had a great game. I was asking her about playing with Holly. She said it's been a little while since she's played with her, and actually almost was a bit out of step with how much Holly likes to play right on that flat line.
Even in these conditions.
Yeah, exactly. I thought Holly had a good game. There were a couple of moments she was under pressure and had to deal with stuff, but it was great to see her out there. I thought it was interesting when Zoe Harrison came on and we had Zoe at 10 and then Holly at 12 and Helena Rowland at 13 once Meg Jones had been taken off. There was a moment I looked at and went, I quite like the look of this as well for the Red Roses. So and they've got a clean bill of health. That was the other bit of news
no one
post-match.
broke.
No one broke as far as we are aware. Ellie is going to be ready for selection next week. Hannah Bottomann's going to be ready. So to be at semi-final stage
Dun, dun, dun.
against a team in France next week that they beat 40 points to 6 in Mont-de-Marsan at the end of or the beginning of August. I was saying to Mo and to Sarah Byrne, who I spoke to, what that psychological edge has got to be there from that game, from what you did that day. They are also expecting, as is possible, France to turn up and be Harlem Globetrotters, have a great time.
Be the Six Nations France.
Well, the team that will sort of mimic what's in front of them. If someone's having an off game and they're a bit all over the place, but they're plucky and they're trying, well, they end up looking the same, and that's sort of how it was in Exeter.
Yeah.
I hope
very accurate.
I hope they can turn it on against England, because we need a second semi-final that will be as belting as I hope the first will look to be. My concern is France looked all sorts of words I won't say for a family show. I just think they're rubbish at the minute.
Before we get to France, you sat next to Nikki Ponsovit, former Red Rose.
I did.
High performance director with World Rugby now.
Yes, she's a very big cheese.
Did you guys discuss the game?
Well, we were actually out socially last night. Dare I say it? But I'm sure I can share this little nugget. But she was basically saying on watching the games that she thinks the music could be coming in a little quicker on the stoppages.
Stop it, Nikki.
To enhance maybe the high performance environment of the in-stadium experience. And just as I was telling producer Shire about that, there was a stoppage, and Walking on Sunshine dribbled out of the stadium speakers really badly while it was sheeting down with rain, which was someone having an ironic joke. But yes.
Yeah, the DJ somewhere is going, tee.
Yeah, enjoy yourself.
Oh, I know the feeling. Sometimes it's just really fun to do stuff like that. And you go, hope somewhere someone in the crowd is actually listening and paying attention to what I'm doing. Spare me a thought. I'm also standing here in the rain. Now, on to France, knocking out Ireland. 5 meter line out at the death. Ireland on attack, and then the ball is knocked on by France. Which
I've got a feeling on this.
Oh my gosh, this sport, why would that be something that...
Line-outs on 5 metres in World Cups. Talk to Red Roses about that.
Yeah.
The thing that I sort of have an issue with, and, my mother was a Monaghan girl, so I guess I should show my...
He does have an Irish passport.
Yeah,
yes.
there is that. Yeah. But a deliberate knock-on in a game of any moment can be either just a penalty or a red card, because you see sometimes even just in a tackle, there'll be your arm was up a bit, and we still think you could have done better and tucked, so that's going to be a penalty. So the idea that you get a line out defensively from a French perspective, 5 metres out, and they can go up and challenge and go, oh, I'm going to try and go for that ball, but if I just beat you to it and knock it in that direction, oh no, we've knocked it on.
Whoopsie daisies.
And in a line-out environment, that's all it currently will be seen as, and therefore, because the clock is in the red, it's not a penalty infringement that means play will be reset and restarted, so therefore the game is ultimately called to a halt. I think there's a nuance in there that I'm not comfortable with, because it means you can get away with a professional foul right there. It's going to be a hard one for officials to be able to call, because you could have a look at it and go, well, I don't know. It felt a little uncomfortable for me.
It feels cynical.
Yeah,
that's what it feels. And you would never want this situation that we saw at the end of France-Ireland, which was a very close game and it was a knockout, to take place at the end of a Rugby World Cup final. No, and Ireland, a team that didn't qualify last time and have come through to be that close to a semi-final. They have really excelled themselves. Aoife Wafer arguably playing on one leg by the end of it. And also one shoulder.
Yeah. Just extraordinary. Linda Jugang had an immense game. I was very fortunate. I was actually in the Hen and Chickens in Bristol with a whole load of the 91 and 94 women that Sue Dorrington had arranged for them all to meet up. I was surrounded by leg ends everywhere. And Sue Dorrington even came up at one point and said, Nick, do you want some pizza? The pizzas are coming. Do you want some? I was like, Sue, I can get myself some pizza, but thank you very much. And then she went, no, I'll get it for you, because you're like some kind of celebrity.
Oh, my
And then
God.
ran away in a very Sue Dorrington fashion. Which is just... all you need to know about the environment of those rooms.
She's just looking for a problem to solve somewhere.
Yeah.
Just give her something to sort out.
She then cleared all the glass off the table and went, I worked in a bar for 3 years. Like, she's just, why not?
It's a very uncanny impression that he's just done there, because that's exactly the energy you get from
I should also tell you that actually I came into that room having just been to the gym, which was a story in itself, because I arrived in Bristol on Friday. I thought, I'm going to bring my gym kit, I'm going to be good. I'll get a session in over the weekend.
Adult.
I know. And then Friday had a couple of beers, didn't happen. Saturday was a slow start, 2 rugby games to watch, a couple of drinks last night. I was like, okay, you haven't used your gym kit, you've got to do it.
Sunday morning.
Member of a gym network that I could use in Bristol, found the Anytime Fitness, but I was like, I haven't got a towel. I'm going to have to furnish myself with one. So I went to Argos thinking I could pick up a microfiber towel. I was like, that'll do the job. I haven't got any room in my bag at all. It's all squeezed into my backpack this weekend. I was like, right. Went in there, tapped it into their little screen, out of stock completely. So I walked out of the Argos in the Galleries place in Bristol, and I spotted a Robert Dyer's store opposite, which is general household goods. And I bought myself, for £2.53, a pack of 4 small microfiber cloths. Took them to the gym, did my workout, and dried. I only needed 2 of them in the end.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. As Shara said earlier, 1 for top, 1 for bottom.
I was going to say. I mean, but now you have 2 spares for next weekend.
Exactly.
When you return.
Yeah.
In your backpack.
Yes. So £2.53, 4 microfiber cloths at Robert Dyer's.
Robert Dyer's, if you would like to sponsor the show, please get in touch with us. I mean, we have just now given you the best. Is it good exposure? Who knows? Exposure is exposure.
Yeah. I was quite exposed when I used the cloths.
And he felt exposed as well. Can we go back to exposure? Anna Capeless on commentary.
Oh, what a dream she has been.
During France-Ireland was sensational. The amount of energy and enthusiasm, but also pure emotion that came out of that girl. She said no one could have said that they could have got us here to get this close to get into the semi-finals. And then she continues as the crowd roared, listen to the green wave that they've brought with them. Ireland chants so strong.
Yeah.
And the chants were massive. The Irish support at this tournament has been incredible.
Yeah.
In Brighton, but also today in the absolute hammering rain in Exeter.
And it felt to me, I only thought about this after last week's show, but it felt like there were more people in Brighton than I've ever seen at games in Ireland. Now, I know that we have a heavy Irish population in the UK, but I thought, come on, actually, and it was a point that Anna said, like, these are the numbers that we deserve, they're going to deserve everyone in the Aviva, where they've announced that Six Nations game is going to be next year. So be turning out. Yeah. People. The Aviva, V Scotland, there are 51,700 seats there. Take your friend, if you are an Irish passport holder, like producer Shira and Nicholas Heath. I feel like the motherland, she is calling you. Yeah, and I've got a WhatsApp group with my Irish cousins, and the boys like going to watch games around Europe. It's a way the boy cousins all keep in touch with each other. I'm often working, I don't get to make any of them. That group is surprisingly quiet around women's games and where Ireland are concerned. So I have some work to do on my own family. To say, boys, why are you not supporting the girls? Mm-hmm. Some of them have got daughters, which apparently matters. Oh, yes, because that's when you start caring about what's happening in women's sport. Yes. Speaking of speaking to the manager / your cousins, I sent an email to the principal of my school last year about girls rugby, saying that's our school has produced a men's Springbok captain, John de Villiers, and Handré Pollard and a lot of other people. But we should be setting ourselves the goal of producing a Springbok women's captain. He blanked my email. I mailed him again before the Rugby World Cup and said, hi, here again. Hi, remember me. And I haven't had a reply. And then today I watched a cut down of Scaz de Rugby in the press conference after the New Zealand match. And Scaz de Rugby said, in 38 years in professional rugby, I have never coached a team like this women box team. He also said, I have cried every day. I was like, same Scaz, you and me. Same WhatsApp Yeah, that's
group.
been the World Cup for all of us.
Yeah. And I sent that cut down. I thought I was going to send another email. And then after I'd already typed it, I realized he doesn't reply to my emails. Yeah. So I have taken to the one platform I know he is on, which is Facebook. Right. And I've published an open letter to the principal of my school on Facebook, and I put it in the WhatsApp group that I have with the alma mater as well. And that is the level of speaking to the manager that I am currently doing. I also said, let me know if you would like Scaz the Brain to call the school and convince you, because I will get him to do this for us.
Your senior Karen rugby correspondent, Elma Smit.
Pick me. South Africa, 17 points against the same New Zealand who nilled Ireland last week.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
17.
Yeah.
2 tries, 10 all at half-time.
It was 90% possession. I think the New Zealanders, the Black Ferns, were the best team for penalties up to this point. I think they'd only conceded 15 in the competition so far. They conceded 7 in the first 25 minutes.
And for context, the women box were leading the penalty tally. So the women box had conceded the most penalties. So Ruby Tui duly noted in the pre-match and said, one thing the women box are going to have to keep an eye on is that penalty count, girlies. And the other things that the women box led, and this brings me to my theme, my word for this match. They led the tournament in carries, dominant carries, meters in contact, and crucially post-contact meters. Defiance is the word of this performance, because they have been defying every single odd, but also when they get the ball and there's 4 people latched, they are not done.
Well, and what an outstanding tactical masterclass from Scaz the Brain. And what I really enjoyed was, like, nobody really believed that the Springbok women were going to beat the Black Ferns. What they did through his tactical genius and through their commitment was take on 14-player lineouts, which was just so much fun. But their pick-and-go game wasn't just your average pick-and-go game. It was, let's make sure that there are 5 of you behind the pick-and-go so that when I pick, we're a 6 or 7 pick-and-go.
Yeah.
And the Black Ferns had no answer to it except to keep infringing and giving away penalties. Yeah. And I just kept watching it going, this is amazing. And it felt to me like making people... My sister put the game on at home. She does watch the women's game a fair bit, but she was... I put it on because I was doing a bit of laundry and I thought, I've not done any laundry. I'm completely engrossed in it. And I think everybody gets to half-time in a game like that and goes, I'll just have a look and see how many that... What? And the Springbok women's legacy for me in that very brief moment was not being written off, surprising people, sticking to a brilliant tactical idea that got them into the hearts and minds of people in their first quarterfinal ever. And yes, conceded 3 tries in 7 minutes at the start of the second half. Normal service resumed. Yeah. But until that point, they were never going to be fit enough, conditioned enough, have enough nous to do 80 minutes against the Black Ferns and win. But to be 10 all at half time is there. We're getting on the plane in 40 minutes. We know that that's probably the best we'll get for now. But hey, how damn good was that? And I just take my hats off to them. They were brilliant. Ngwevu, number 12, all day long.
Apiwe, yes, please.
Oh.
But also just the bravery. At one point when I saw them doing that incredibly diabolical 15 players in the mall business, I looked at the backfield and I literally get goosebumps when I think about it now. There was no one there, and I was like, this is the Black Ferns, what are you doing? You can't do this stuff. The bravery to go from 13 players in the line-out to 2 players in the line-out to lifting Nadine Roos in the line-out.
It was so good.
Like, the variety, and I remember seeing Libby when I went into camp this week to go interview Aseza for the BBC. I saw Libby for a coffee, and I said to her, how are you feeling? And she was like, shoo-loo-loo. Coach Scaz is doing some things, guys. And I was like, well, you have to do some things. And her eyes were the size of saucers.
Yeah, you got a little tip off there, didn't you?
There's a lot happening. And I could not even, despite having seen her face, imagine the chaos that ensued. But this is also what you can do when you have a Nadine Roos who has started in virtually every position in the back line. 3, 4, multiple times. Eloise Webb, similarly. But also centers and forwards who look the same and have like the same kind of stature on the pitch and can carry the same number of people around at will.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop ranting now. Aseza Hele, post-match, saying we gave them the taste of South Africans.
Yeah.
We wanted to challenge them and make a stance. This is what I mean by defiance. She said, it's a learning curve for us. We are going far with this team. People must feel we are here and we belong here.
And what a way to tell your nation, your union, and everybody around them, and those that might have just pulled up a chair, if you back us, look at what we're capable of. And that's what this whole World Cup performance for me has looked like for South Africa, is you started to believe, you start to like what we're about. Well, if we run with that belief, look what we can do. And that's been absolutely superb to watch.
And can we please take a moment for Cindy Boy? Nolu Sindiso Boy. I literally walked around to the bus and I waited as the girls started trickling out. And I walked up to her and I just gave her such a big cuddle and I said, can I please get a picture with you? I don't usually ask, but can we please take a picture together? And she was so shy and embarrassed.
Really?
Similarly to how the girls put her on their shoulders and carried her around on the pitch, and she covered her face with both her hands.
Wow.
Nick, if people carry me around their shoulders on a pitch, I'm going to be sitting up there like this. Yes.
Tell me something I don't know.
It's me. Cindy Boy literally went like this. She was crying and she had her both hands over her face because she is so humble. And she has served for so long in such incredibly challenging circumstance with so little backing.
No, she's gone again.
No, I'm not going to cry. I'm going to hold it together. I'm going to, like, even Cesar was so strong afterwards when I saw her. She was like, I'm not crying. You must stop crying now. She said to me, I'm not crying. But Cindy is the quietest, humblest, truest servant of the sport.
Yeah.
Who literally, when I was bawling my face off all over her, she said, I'm sorry. I was like, why are you apologizing to me?
Yeah.
This is the caliber of women. And that huddle all together with Ruahe and Aseza and was it Aisha, Leti Ainga in the circle, the dancing and the singing.
But don't forget what you've also said in the past couple of weeks, and they see that and they hear it and they recognise their part in continuing that message. So you're not in that camp, but those hugs are pretty mutual, Ms. Smit, because the platforms that they have to perform are their versions of the platforms you have to speak, and so it's these are the environments we all share to try and move this in the right direction. And so I'm glad you got to share that moment together.
And I did put a call out for male allies. The Beast heard it. A few other people heard it, which is great. But one of my, in my former life, I worked in music. And there was this really famous in our space screamo rock band. And the lead singer of this band is now a filmmaker. And he made a reel recently saying that we should call the girls' bomb squad the Blom Squad after Aseza Hele's nickname Blommy, which means flower.
Yeah.
And he texted me today. And he said, and this is a man who's never been to a men's rugby World Cup, I'll see you in Australia in 29.
Oh, I love that. That's giving me goosebumps.
There we go.
That's great.
See you in Australia, guys.
Yeah.
Speaking of Australia, Australia got dismantled. Canada, 46-5.
Yeah.
Very, very, very similar scoreline to the one that England put on over Australia. So if Australia is par, then England and Canada are pretty much, they've drawn.
Yeah, and what a performance. Justine Peltier, brilliant. Karen Paquin, unbelievable. Sophie de Goody. It just feels really, I don't know, boring, predictable to keep talking about how good she is. But she's just, there were a lot of people yesterday that, it's the first time I've watched Canada live in person, this tournament, and she's just unbelievable.
Unreal.
Just, the hype is worth it. They were awesome, and their athleticism from 1 to 15 to 23, forwards and backs, they know what they want to do. They've got a hunger. If you've raised $1 million to get your campaign here to go and win a World Cup, Sarah Orchard was at the press conference actually on Friday. I wasn't there, but she said, you know the way, because when England had their pre-match press conference on Friday, Holly Aitchison was put on the top table because John Mitchell was running late. They ended up walking into the room while she was there. So there was lots of fun. Amy Cockayne was sat alongside the journalist. So we all had a bit of a giggle. And a lot of the other nations have been having the fun of this World Cup that sets the women's game apart a little way. And Sarah said, Canada turned up. We're here to win a World Cup. And they just seemed so businesslike in their press conference. They weren't having the knockabout fun that everybody else was. And when you watch that performance and consider that they've raised $1 million to go and win a World Cup, they are taking that responsibility and that backing with due seriousness, gravity or whatever. I hope they're enjoying their time, but my goodness, are they focused, and how good did they look against Australia? And I feel like that performance, and having watched the Black Ferns, the Ferns are in trouble. Canada, for me, have one firm foot in that final.
So there's a next pick for you, but let's do this officially then. Let's look ahead at the final round of the knockouts before we get to the big one. Next picks brought to you by Funding Circle, where we ask Nick Heath to use his rugby knowledge to predict the next round. Who and by how many? Nicholas Heath, New Zealand versus Canada, 7 p.m. Bristol, Friday night.
I'm going the Canadians by 12.
Give me more. 12.
I think so.
Are you serious?
Are you saying that's too many?
That's a lot.
It is a lot. And the Black Ferns are capable of all sorts of brilliance, and they could win it. But I just feel like where it's going to be is the forwards. So my analysis on them is that the Canadians are capable of putting their big size 9s on your face, squashing you in that breakdown, in that scrum time, at line out and maul. I don't think the Black Ferns have enough physicality there. Black Ferns, opportunity down the back line, bang, you're in trouble. Yeah. But the Canadian back line is not shorn of nous and ability either. And I think they can reach parity with that Black Ferns back line, and therefore I think that difference up front is going to be where it lives or dies for the Canadians, and I think it lives, and I think the Black Ferns will struggle to stay there. Georgia Miller came off the field, and you were pitch side. What did it look like?
Didn't look good, the leg. Yeah.
Who knows?
She had a really big thing on it afterwards.
Yeah, so that's a bit of my reasoning that I think the Canadians are taking that step in.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Then France play England in the Saturday semi-final, 3:30 Saturday afternoon here in Bristol. Mm-hmm. France have come third in the World Cup approximately... how many times is this now? Like a million?
Yes.
Always?
7 times. Would this be the 8th if the Red Roses can dispatch them? The difference being that they tend to always meet Canada there, which they could do again. I'm not making it a foregone conclusion, but I love the French. I love the talent in that team. I love what they're about. I love Gabi Vernier. I love Madisou Fall-Raclos. I love Manaye Feleau. Manon Bigot. I love during the Six Nations. But they just cannot show me what they're about. I can't understand the game plan. I can't see the development in the last 2-3 years that they're moving anywhere or closing the gap on anyone in particular. The Irish nearly did them today, albeit in some fairly game-leveling conditions. 40 points to 6 in Mont-de-Marsan that the Red Roses scored against them a matter of weeks ago is easily possible again.
I think the semi-final?
Yeah, I think they'll rise to the occasion, but I think the Red Roses will have them by 18.
1-8.
Yeah, 18. I was going to say 20 or 25, but I'm going to be kind to them because they are test match animals. But I think the Red Roses made that statement in Mont-de-Marsan because of the way the French came back at that Six Nations game at Allianz Stadium. And the Red Roses knew they were home and hosed. They worried. They got to a point away. I mean, it was pretty squeaky bum time. I think that result in France in the warm-up games was the Roses going, by the way, you thought you were? No way. Don't you dare. And at home, World Cup, people banging drums, Red Roses fans cheering everything. I think the French will struggle.
Well, there you have it. That was Nick's picks. All you need to know about the next round brought to you by our good friends at Funding Circle. They provide fast, hassle-free finance that backs small businesses because just like rugby, running a business takes grit, hard work, and a great team behind you. To find out how Funding Circle can help you get your business goals over the line, visit fundingcircle.com/rugby and let us know if you agree or not with Nick in the comments below. Now, Reverend, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure. Is your ankle okay?
It's going to be okay. I rolled my ankle. It was silly. Yeah. I knew as soon as it happened that this was bad. But we are going to be strong.
But you're going to be fit enough for the semi-finals.
I'm going to do my best to get selected for another 2 shows this week.
Oh, God.
Yeah, tough gig. Yeah. I do have to turn up because, Alice Soper is here and she is actually coming into the studio. So we can for the first time, actually speak to Alice Soper and not about her.
Love it.
Which
What
will
a
be
guest.
good. She's going to be joining us for a look ahead to the semi-finals, and I will be in England camp to hang out with the girlies. I know I said last week we might have the girl with the rat tail on. I thought that we might, but now it might happen this week.
Hooray!
Speaking of the rat tail, Donna O'Brien
Oh, I missed
had
that.
one today,
Did
but
she?
it was a little ratty that was tucked into the bun,
Oh.
and it was pink.
How
Donna.
about that?
Oh, hello.
Mm.
That was really interesting. So completely irrelevant little sidebar, but here we go. So we will be stopping by in camp if I can get my rolled ankle all the way back over to Bristol.
And then we're back in Bristol next weekend.
And then I'll see you here next weekend.
Semi-finals Friday, Saturday. Don't forget, everyone, by the way, it's not Saturday, Sunday. You do have to make plans to watch a semi-final on Friday evening.
Friday Night Lights. Here we go.
Whoop, whoop.
Party time in Bristol.
Oh, you're like a really unfashionable mum.
Okay, I'm going to stop now. We've been The Good, the Scaz, the Rugby. A Folding Pocket production produced, as always, by our fearless leader.
The Shire of Kilgallen.
Of Kilgallen, she is, apparently. Okay, thanks, girls. Hey!
You've been listening to The Good, the Scaz and the Rugby with the Blue Tit. The one that always wears red.
And the Croissant Queen.
Thanks for listening.